which has been great for the last 7-10 years. It's given a lot of fit pros more finances, more self-confidence, which I'm all for. I want everyone to win. But at the same time, we've all got there by copying or getting an advantage that is easy to copy, right? It's an unsustainable advantage. And we're at the point now, the critical point, where you cannot now keep growing on an advantage that anyone else can also do. So if your advantage was you're going to kill a Facebook ad, well, guess what? Everyone would just copy it now. If your advantage was we've got the only 6-week challenge in town, everyone can copy it now. If yours was the bait and switch offer, everyone can copy that now. If it's branding or niching to women only, everyone can copy that now. If your business ultimately, and this goes against what all the marketing people tell you, right? Because all the marketing people have never actually run a real business for longer than 3 years. The marketing people will tell you that your unique selling point or your distinct advantage is something on the front end of the company. It's something people can see. It's your offer, it's your pricing, it's your advert, it's your copy, it's your branding, it's your logo, it's your opt-in page. If you build your business around that thing, that tactic, again, your business will not last longer than 5-6 years. Because if it's that easy to be distinctive that anyone else can see and copy, including big box gyms, right? Eventually, someone will walk into your market who can outspend you and pay more for that Facebook ad, or can build a better landing page, or a nicer logo, or give the same and charge less than you. It's going to happen. So that's what we call unsustainable economic advantage. Your real advantage, if you run a company that goes beyond 5 years and actually can do over $1 million, your sustainable advantage needs to be something invisible on the back end that your competitors cannot see from the front, right? And so a better option is having an amazing culture, delivering amazing results, delivering good experience. But even that's not enough. You need to go further back than that. You know, and what you really need is a long-term game plan, emotional resilience, and again, operating cash flow. A lot of what it takes is intangible, it's mindset, it's the will to fucking keep going no matter what. But the other thing is really if you want to quantify and physicalize something, it's going to be operating cash flow. The more profitable you make your business, your profits need to be the lifeblood, the more operating capital you have in the bank, the more your business can tolerate any left hook that comes to it. Because it will give you, that profit reserve gives you time to recover and come back and pivot in the market, you know. So it's a mix of foresight, of knowing where your industry is going and how to adapt to that, and it's the short term of having the operating capital in the bank. If you don't make that transition fast enough, you should be proactive and make the transition before everyone else does it, which is why I'm explaining all this to you guys now. And if you don't manage to do that in time, you need enough buffer in the bank so you can recover, pivot, and get back on track and minimize your losses. So let's look at some trends of what I think at least is going to happen right now. Overall, the biggest strategy we're focusing on in my own companies and for all our consulting clients for the next 3 to 5 years is mergers and acquisitions. We're at a point now, and some of our clients are already doing this, they're buying out other gyms. We're at that point now, again, 7-10 years has gone by, everyone's launched their own studios for the area. Again, we look at your competitors and we react and we freak out and we think they're all doing better than they actually are. Oh, he's got like 50 people starting a challenge, or he's got adverts all the time, I see his adverts. Again, 90% of your competitors are probably not even posting a profit. And I bet none of them have got more than 2 months operating capital in the bank. And if they have, they don't even know they should have it there. So remember, no matter how good they look on the outside, it's all smoke and mirrors 90% of the time, and none of them have any operating capital. So they're all 1 to 2 months away from bankrupting, right? So just remember that, so you're not put off by, oh, these guys are doing so well, because they're not. And even companies like Blockbuster Video will show you that. They can look like industry giants, but they'd be taken down very quickly if they didn't pivot fast enough. And so, what's going to happen now? I really believe, and I'm seeing this already, is so many of these guys now, they've had 7 to 10 years in the industry. They're in debt. They're not seeing their families. They're scraping by 5 to 15K a month, sometimes more. They're doing 20, 30, 40K sometimes. but they're just burned out. They're at the end of their tether. They've realized they don't want to run a business. They just want to coach people. Again, they saw the big Facebook ads and jump into the industry, and so easy the last few years. They were told it's just marketing, sales, fulfillment. They all dived into self-employment, and now they're always like, fuck, I do not have what it takes to run a business, and I frankly don't want to. I just want to coach people, man. I don't want to make landing pages and build opt-in forms and emails and integrations. I just want to coach people, man. So many more, and again, their egos won't let them tell you that. But if you look under the surface, so many of them, maybe even some of you guys in this room have been there, right? The difference is you've gone out there and sought mentoring, which shows that you want to stay in the game a little longer. Most of them don't, right? And I would say most of the guys that didn't even make it today, or don't come on any mentoring programs or events, they're in that boat. And we're starting to reach out and do acquisitions now, and we're seeing this. We're like, hey, a competitor on the road who's put some money into some nice equipment. They've got a few dozen clients, but they're in personal debt. They don't know they don't know what to do next. They're struggling. They're reacting. Their Facebook ad costs are going up, and they're just stressed to shit. And we can approach someone like that and say, look, man, we're growing. Like, we're doing all the right things here. We're growing. Things are going good for us. And basically the conversation is like, hey, we see you're a good trainer, but maybe you're struggling with the business side of things. How about, we take the stress off your hands. We're looking to expand anyway. We can take this off you, pay you some money for the assets you acquired, but now you get a job working for us on a nice salary retainer. We put our name on the door. And, so many of them are just like, that sounds amazing, thank you so much. I just want to coach, I just want to get set money for my family, I just want to coach people, I just want financial security. They're thanking us for that. One of my clients just did this last month. He's grown his company 40% in 2 months just by acquiring a local competitor who was happy, like bending over backwards just to work for the guy. Now he's going out there, he's in talks right now to buy 2 yoga studios. He's getting hooked on it now. He's just like, I can run yoga studios too. Now he's learning how to be a business owner, not just a personal trainer with some marketing skills. And so that's the first trend you're going to see when it comes direct to personal training gyms. The fastest way for you to acquire what you want is buy assets of other people. So figure out the biggest bottleneck in your business first of all, and if it is like, for example, like lead flow or a client base, you can very quickly go to another business that has those costs and absorb them. And there's so much benefits to buying other businesses you wouldn't believe, right? It's not something just for huge companies to do. And one of the strategies I'll kind of go through you guys quickly right now is the way we do this is actually you don't need any money down to buy the companies. Because generally a company is valued on its 12 months previous profit times by usually a market value multiple of 2 to 4. And that multiple is based on how little risk it has for the person buying it. So a company like Google has a multiple of 20, which means like whatever its 12 months profit was, times 20 is what Google's actually evaluated if they're going to sell it, which means that no one can afford it pretty much. But what did I say earlier? What did I say most people's profits are in business earlier? Zero. So what's 12 months of 0 times by 2 to 4? Zero. And so what their business is worth nothing, right? But is it a business or is it a job for them? My business was worth fuck all when I got the news I go back to the UK. In my mind, I thought it was worth more, but I only later realized it was never a business. It was me doing a full-time job. All that's worth is a salary, a trainer's salary, right? And so that's how we approached it. And we're like, hey, dude, we'll do an asset evaluation and see how much it runs without you. But ultimately, we go, you know what? Technically, this isn't really a business. It's not really worth a business valuation. But you know what? Maybe you've got 5K of equipment lease to pay off. Maybe a couple of other renovations and stuff to do. You know what? We'll pay you what this is worth, which is a 12-month salary for you. Which is like average salary, like in the area, 26K. Maybe we'll throw a bit towards paying off some of the equipment, which makes it our asset, and we'll take those payments off you. So maybe we round it to 30K, which will pay you a 5% down payment now, and either the rest as a salary if you're going to work here, if you want to give them a job, if you think they're a great trainer. We'll pay you 5% of it down now, and the rest as a monthly salary over the next 12 months. So you're on like 2K a month pretty much. And all the assets will be signed over to us. It's our customer list, it's our equipment, it's all, we'll take over the lease from you as well. I'm paying the admin fees to take the lease over into our name, and our brand goes in the door. And again, you'd be surprised how many are actually would like thank you for that offer, right? Or the other option is, if you don't want them there, you can say, we'll pay you this over 24 to 36 months. Because remember, the reason you're buying it as well, the reason most companies are up for sale is because they don't make any profit. But with the strategies and skills or you'll pick up very fast, these kind of mentorships, all you need to do is an evaluation to see how fast can I turn this into profit. And for most companies, it can take 30 to 60 days. That's what we do with our own clients, right? Like with FitPros, we're helping you guys go from no profit into profit within 30 to 60 days. Nothing magical about it. It's just either you're not getting enough leads in because you're not running any advertising. And think of these guys that are struggling. They're either not running ads, so they're not getting enough lead flow, or they're not charging enough, which means they're not positioning an offer strong enough, or they're not making enough value per customer, they're not doing enough upsells or other services. Or they're paying too much out, they're paying their team too much, and they're paying way too much to their contractors. And so it's one of those issues, and we can solve all those issues in 1 month. You have a big team reevaluation, you strike off half the salaries of the team, don't belong to be there. You get some ads and leads coming in, you reposition the offer, boom, boom, boom. You can get a company doing no profit to maybe doing 10K a month with no profit. You can take them up to maybe doing 3K in profit, so 13,000 a month, actually while reducing some of their costs. So you can probably make 1,000 in profit by reducing excess spend they're wasting money on, and maybe you add another 2,000 a month in pure profit to them. That's relatively easy, and you guys are all there, you've done that kind of thing, right? So you could do that in 30 to 60 days, right? You could add 2, maybe 3,000 in profit to a company at that level. So if you then know, right, okay, we can release $2,000 profit in this company for now, right? And you're offering to pay 30K for the whole thing. So you can work this out then and say, well, okay, right, so we're going to pay you 30K for this. We're going to pay you 5% down, which is $1,500, and we're going to pay you the rest over 36 installments, which is kind of usual for a business deal. The cool thing is when you a seller buying a business will usually self-finance the deal. So you haven't got to go and get a loan which you pay interest on. When you're buying a company or someone, they're not going to charge you interest because they're not giving you a loan to buy the money. They need the money more than you do usually. So you'll get it, the whole 30K spread over 24 to 36 months payments without any interest on top, unless you choose to go and get a loan. But this way, I'm going to show you shouldn't need to have any money down whatsoever. So if you work out the numbers like that, you'll say, right, I'll pay you $1,500 down, or a bit more if you want to. And then the rest over 36 installments will be about $970 a month. But then if by month 2, you've turned that business into doing 2K profit, you're now using half of that profit to pay the money you owe, and you're parking the other $1,000. You get that? Makes sense, guys?
Yeah.
And that's literally how you can start buying up companies like that, because they're not companies, they're jobs. We're not ripping people off. They didn't make their business worth shit. That's their fault. We're genuinely, and here's the thing, guys, there should be no interest in or risk for you, because you're buying a company that's proven they can't make profit. That's risky for you. Why would you buy a company that has no profits? You're taking the risk. Remember that. You're giving them a lifeline. And if you don't want to work for you, if you don't like the trainer, well, you can say, we'll pay you this just to fuck off and stay at home. You'll get your $970 sent to home. You can get another job or do whatever you want. And you'll still get your payments each month for the next 3 years. You're paying them to sit at home. Just get them out of the way and bring your own team in. And so if you can do a turnaround, learn profit strategies to do a turnaround like that and put it to 2K profit, you can use half that money to pay back the deal. And then that's exactly what one of my clients did the other day. And he's literally absorbed that into his. So think of the money as well you're saving, right? So first of all, buying a company is also a good strategy, even for startups at this level, because a startup is a company doing less than 500K a month generally, or more. So it's also good for you. It's also a good way of growing because no one talks, again, no marketers will talk, they don't know how to do it, but acquiring companies is a really good growth strategy because you're also going to save on costs. Because if you absorb this company in, you've probably got like an active campaign account or an email CRM or Facebook ads, but like you're paying out for one gym. If another gym was under your ownership, you'd probably share a lot of the costs. You wouldn't need another email CRM. You wouldn't need maybe to increase your ads budget that much. You wouldn't need another ads manager. Maybe if you've got a manager on board, they could run 2 facilities, or your trainers, you could just pay more hours to do both. So you'd share a lot of the costs. So the costs, the operating costs that business has on its own, if it was owned by you, immediately you could calculate that you'd actually shave off some costs straight away, and that would actually create profit just by sharing costs. So think about that, right? Think of the assets they've got. They've got an email list now. They've got a client base that starts paying you recurring each month. And so a few key things you can do can literally will actually make both companies profit quicker by you owning them and consolidating them. So you might think this is a bit over your heads or advanced to begin with, but I just want to seed it for you guys. Buying up competitors. I see so many fit pros, they want to go and pay mortgages for houses and shit. I'm like, you're fucking crazy putting money into a house. That's the dumbest shit ever. Like, if you're putting money into buying businesses to get ROI, buy a business is the fastest way to make money, especially if you learn the skills. You're also investing how to make fast ROI and turn around and flip a business. It's faster to flip a business than it is to flip a house. I'm telling you that, right? So
we were just talking about that today.
Again, why do we all want to buy properties before the age of 30? Whose belief is that? Our belief or somebody else's who's told us that's what you should do?
Yeah.
Yep. My parents still don't get why I don't invest in properties. Why don't you got money? Why don't you invest 100K into a house?
Hey, I was just doing that. I would much it is so much less stressful to buy a business.
Yeah, and so, I'm not saying never buy a house. I'm just saying, do it at the right time when you've got the money to pay for it. Don't go into, so my parents why don't I buy a house? And I'm like, well, because I don't want to wait 25 years to make an ROI and go into debt for a liability for no reason. Like Grant Cardone says, rent what you own. And rent where you live and lease out what you own. Like I say, buy a house if you're going to rent it out and make money on it, otherwise it's a liability. Rob Kiyosaki, the guru on investing, says this. He's like, a house, if you live in it, is a liability. And I asked a high-level investor once, when would property be a good idea? He said to me, probably when you've got 500K floating in the bank that you don't need to make immediate money on for a few years, then's probably the time to go and buy a property if you want to. So I'm not against buying a property, but if you're in the early stage and haven't got that net worth yet, you're way better off putting it into a company because you've bought all the skills. If you spent 5 years learning and investing in skills to flip properties and increase their valuations and sell them on, then yeah, maybe invest in properties and do that, right? But if it's or if you know about flipping cars, then go and invest in cars and flip them. You'll make money. Or flipping watches. Otherwise it's not going to make you any money. So that was that's one of the main things we're looking at. I would really highly suggest you look into over the next couple of years, because that's the market you're in now. With all these guys that are struggling, and rather than grow a business and shut everything down and leave it there, if you'd known about Bedros, right, and him packing up the FPS, you could have gone and made a pitch there. And be like, hey, what can I pay you to take over these assets?
Just I have a question.
Yeah.
So, I think Tracy, you're all women.
Yeah.
100%. I'm all women too. So there's not a lot of other gyms in the area. They're usually co-ed. So how, I think there's one other gym that does all female. So how, if you're trying to expand your business, but you're all women, how does that go into play when a lot of them are co-ed gyms?
That's a good question. You can actually look at a couple of options. The first is buy a co-ed gym out and tell the guys to get lost. Weigh up the risk of that, right?
Yeah.
It's not impossible. The other thing though is, secondly, it's actually more beneficial sometimes if you're really planning to think bigger now. Go and buy a co-ed gym and let them keep the branding. No one needs to know that you own that gym.
Okay.
Hmm.
And now you've got now you've just bought an additional customer base you can sell more products to,
Right.
right? You don't have to put your name on it, right? And the third option then is to look at, if it's women only you want, you can look at buying complementary businesses like yoga studios, health and wellness events, stuff like that. So again, you can take over like a yoga business, and maybe, and what I would say is, if it's going to be something that's not your core competence like that, this is what my client's doing right now. Actually, we had a call about this. That's why it's so fresh in my mind. I said, as you move out to the levels of awareness to a market where yoga and wellness now is in that stage 1 or 2, it's pretty much stage 1 of market sophistication. Right now, it's like, I don't know about in the States, but like in UK and Europe, it's like, we do yoga, they get full. That's why I want a yoga business so badly right now. It's just easy money right now.
Wow.
I'm not sure how it is over here in the States, but you're probably not at more than stage 2 or 3 at most.
Yeah, it's pretty saturated around that.
It's
There's like
usually
one
like
every
the US is usually like one step or 1 to 2 years ahead of the
Yeah.
from what I found working in both.
You're probably not more than, it's not more than stage 3 sophistication, I would guess. Maybe some have got like their own point where they've got their own methods of yoga,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
But there's probably still, but the thing with yoga instructors as well in general is yoga instructors in general are usually far less business orientated because it's such a creative kind of art form, I guess. They're generally a lot more right-brained and emotional, and they hate finances, they hate marketing, they hate business, and they will not look into it because their mind is just wired so differently. Generally, to be a great yoga instructor, different with quick pros because we have a lot more scientific basis behind what we do, and programming and counting numbers and things is more usual to us. But with yoga instructors, traditional yoga is what's getting big. Not the modern mainstream, put your leg behind your head yoga, but more mainstream like wellness, well-being, breathing-based yoga. Those guys are 1 mile from anything finances, so their businesses are always a fucking mess. They think marketing is the devil. I'm a heart-centered yoga person. I don't like